time for the most anticipated Clash Royale series ever to finally make a comeback. The updated tier list ranking every single card after the new update. So here we are with the tier list. We have 5 tiers on our list today, ranging all the way from S tier, the strongest cards in the game, all the way down to D tier, the absolute weakest. And the very first card on the chopping block today is the Archer Queen, one of the strongest champions in the game, or previously was. Where did she land after the recent nerf in the balance update? Well, in my opinion, the Archer Queen is still a very strong card. However, she is no longer an S tier card. Now, taking a look over here at Royale API to see the actual win rates and use rates behind some of these cards, the Archer Queen is all the way down here, ranked 64th amongst all the cards with a 13% usage and a 48% win rate. Compare that to the Golden Knight with a whopping 57% win rate and 16% usage, and the Skeleton King 18% usage and 54% win rate. So it appears the nerf was actually a pretty big impact on the Archer Queen. However, with that being said, I still think she's a very strong card with the ability to decimate even powerful units with that one elixir ability. But moving on over here, we have the newly buffed archers, a now new and improved B tier card. Once again, the buff was nice, but not enough to bring it back into the meta. The arrow is also going to be a good card as well, giving all of the bait cards going around in the meta right now. The baby dragon over here, A+ tier, very reliable card, basically works in any strategy, high health, flying so it doesn't get targeted by half the units in the game, and deals a respectable splash damage as well. The bandit, another A+ tier card. Barrel as well, A+ tier, the most effective spells in the entire game, way over up here. Barbarian Hut, oh boy, our first D tier card on this list. It is honestly one of the weakest cards in the entire game. 7 elixir, barely ever gets value, and honestly, maybe that's good, because when the Barbarian Hut is strong, it is a super annoying card to face. Barbarians, however, going to be an upper tier, B tier card. Bats way up here at the higher end of the A+ tier. Super powerful card. If your opponent doesn't really have a zap in there, the bats can get infinite value, and the amount of damage you can dish out in a short time frame for a 2 elixir cost card is absolutely insane. Now, the battle healer over here going to be on the upper end of the C tier. Overall, a fairly weak card. Only really ever works in elixir Golem decks, which also is a fairly weak win condition, hence why it's so lowly ranked. The battle rhyme would be a B tier, middle of the pack win condition, a little bit behind the balloon. Bomb tower as well, similarly ranked as a B tier, middle of the pack card. The bomber gonna be an A tier card, not overly strong, but definitely not on the weaker side. For 2 elixir, it gets a ton of value and deals decent damage. It requires arrows to take out with a spell for a -1 trade for the arrows user. Bowler also gonna be an A tier card. Cannon, similarly ranked as the bomb tower. In fact, lots of the buildings going to be a B tier card. Same thing with the Infernal Tower going to be up here on the B tier. And the Tesla Tower. Where's that guy over here? Tesla Tower, my friend, you're going to be a B tier overall as well. However, if you slap some wheels on that cannon, you go from B tier all the way up to S tier. One of the strongest cards in the game. Cannon card is one of my favorite cards to use in Clash Royale. It is very underappreciated, long range, high damage output, and really strong health as well, with 2 forms, making it even spell resistant. In fact, if we go over here back to Royale API, check out where the cannon card is ranked upon the use rates and the win rates. Over here at the #1 highest ranked card in the entire game, 59% win rate and a 6% usage. Overall, a very effective and underappreciated card in Clash Royale. However, the clone spell gonna be way down here below archers at B tier. Dark Prince way up here, A+ tier card, decent tank, shield to make it spell resistant and making it an okay option to help destroy those tanks. Dark Gobbo, A+ tier as well, just overall very strong since that last buff that got a few balances ago. Earthquake was recently nerfed and now is down here at the B tier average list. It still works in a few strategies that don't rely heavily on Earthquake cycle, but a lot of those previous top tier decks that had Fire Spirit EQ cycle are all out of the meta right now. Electro Dragon gonna be way up here at the top tier of B tier. The Electro Giant got a very interesting rework in this balance update. However, I don't think it nearly is as strong as it once was. And personally, I'm going to place it all the way down here at the lower end of the B tier. It just dies so fast, it's very hard to ever get value for. In fact, taking a look at the stats over here, look at where the Electro Giant is placed on this list. It is all the way down here, 100th place, only a 40% win rate, is amongst some of the weakest cards in the entire game, like Wizard and Goblin Gang. And you could argue that yes, you can mirror it for 80 elixir for a stronger version than the original Electro Giant. But in that case, you'd be using a mirror, not the Electro Giant, so that is an individual rank for the mirror, not the E-Giant. Electro Spirit over here, way at the top of the A+ tier. Overall, very effective card. 1 elixir, chain attack, can very often get chip damage to a tower and stuns everything in the process. Electro Wizard, way over here, A+ tier as well. Overall, very, very effective and reliable and consistent and versatile range attacker. Elite Barbarians, A+ tier as well. The Electric Collector, all the way up here at S tier. It's crazy how one little change can move the Electric Collector all the way from D tier, which is where it was on my previous tier list, all the way up here to S tier. Check this out. The win rates of the pump are insane. 9th highest ranked card in the entire game right now after that recent change. Basically always guaranteed value against almost every spell in the game with the exception of the Earthquake. Now speaking of elixir over here, the Elixir Golem, bum, one of the weakest cards in the entire game. Way down here at the bottom section of the C tier. Executioner behind E-Giant at B tier. Fire Spirit way up here along the E Spirit as an A+ tier card. For 1 elixir, deals more damage to a tower than a Fireball does, and it works so effectively in those fast cycle chip decks. Fireball, one of the strongest spells in the game, way up here at A+ tier. The Firecracker, however, ooh, down here at the lower end of B tier. Fishy Boy, way up here at A+ tier. Very, very effective card and offers a ton of utility both on offense and defense. Fly Machine, up here at the higher end of, actually, no, let's go lower end of A tier. Free Spell, let's go lower end of A tier as well. The Furnace, way down here at the lower end of B tier. Same thing with the Goblin Hut as well. These two spawners are a bit more effective than Barbarian Hut, but still not very strong. Giant, up here, A tier card. Giant Skeleton, this is another card that previously was ranked as a very weak card, but because of the buff, it is now all the way up here as an A+ card. It is very effective at going in front of your push to clear the way with that giant bomb so your win condition can get to that tower. And with the increased health and damage, it now destroys a lot of cards in one shot earlier and survives longer, so it is the perfect tank to synergize with a push. Snowball over here is going to be an A tier, A+ tier card as well. Not nearly as strong as the Barbarian Barrel, but nonetheless an A+ card. Goblin Barrel up here at A tier. Goblin Cage, A tier. Goblin Drill. This is a card that I think got a secret buff in the balance update. I believe it now moves much faster. It's going to go all the way up here at A+ tier. Taking a look over here at Royale API, the Goblin Drill is currently the 2nd highest rated card in the entire game. So overall, it's pretty good after that secret buff. Now over here, Goblin Gang is another C tier weak card. In almost any deck, you're better off right now using Skarmy or the Guards. In fact, the Goblin Gang is so weak, it is currently one of the lowest rated cards in the entire game at rank 105. Goblin Giant way up here at the lower end of A tier. Goblins way up here with the Goblin Gang brothers. Golden Knight, another S tier card. That recent buff made a huge impact on the Golden Knight. His win rates are insane, his use rates are insane, and overall a very strong card in Clash Royale. Golem, A tier as well. Very, very effective in the current meta. Graveyard, A+ tier still. Very, very solid win condition in Clash Royale. Guards are another very effective cards, A+ tier. The Guards offer a ton of damage, spell resistance, and swarm and distraction. Very versatile, and for the most part, the Guards are the dominant option for swarm control, and it's part of the reason why Goblins and Goblin Gang are so low, because the Guards are definitively a better option. Heal Spirit way up here at A+ tier because of the resurgence of 3 Musketeer decks and Bridge Spam. The Heal Spirit is a dominant card once again. Hog Rider over here at B tier. Hunter, A tier. Ice Golem would be lower A tier as well. The Icy Spirit did get buffed, but it's not nearly as effective still as the two other spirits. So it's going to land right here at the middle of the pack of a B tier. Ice Wizard, A tier as well. Infernal Dragon, way up here with his baby brother. The Knight, another pretty good card in Clash Royale. Good stats for his cost, A tier. Lava Hound, way up here at an A+ tier, right behind the Electro Wizard. Lightning Spell over here at good tier. Lumberjack way up here at lower end of A tier as well. Magic Archer, upper end of A tier for sure. Now, this next card is guaranteed to be a controversial ranking, and that is the Mega Knight. So it got nerfed in the recent balance update, and it is still extremely popular on mid-ladder. However, wait till you see the stats in a brief moment. So the Mega Knight, I'm going to rank it way over here at the lower end of B tier. But check this out. If I go over to the actual stats of the cards, what do you think is one of the lowest cards in the game? I don't think you would expect it to be Mega Knight, but it is all the way down here at rank 103. It even has a lower win rate than the new weak Electro Giant at a 36% win percentage. That is very, very low. It is right next to some of the weakest cards in the entire game, like Witch, Wizard, Goblin Gang as well. And even though it is very popular on mid-ladder, that is more so a problem with players being over-leveled and abusing max-level Mega Knights against lower-level opponents, which is a card level and matchmaking problem, and not necessarily the Mega Knight being a strong card itself. Moving on here to the Mega Minion, an A-tier card. Now, the newest champion in Clash Royale is the Mighty Miner, and where would you think he would land? In my opinion, I believe it is a B tier card. Overall, not too crazily effective. Hasn't had a huge splash on the meta. Very hard to get value for. In terms of the actual stats, the Mighty Miner is ranked all the way down here at 77th in the game with a 46% win rate and a 4% usage. Miner going to be an A+ tier card as well. Very, very versatile and works in a wide variety of strategies. Mini Pekka, A tier, right next to the Bowler as well as the Knight. Get in there, my friend. There you go. Minion Horde. This is an interesting card. Previously, I ranked it at C tier because it is very inconsistent and very hard to get value for. And there are so many spells and different cards in Clash Royale that will destroy the Minion Horde almost instantaneously. However, because 3 Musketeers are back in the meta again, the Minion Horde is a very effective card in Fireball Bait 3 Musketeer decks. And because it works so effectively in those strategies specifically, and because of the new mirror, it is now an A tier card. Minions way up here at A tier, upper end of A tier as well. A little bit higher than the Minion Horde just because they are a bit more versatile and a bit easier to use. Now the mirror, this card got a massive buff in the recent balance update. One of the most fun cards to use in a while. And honestly, this single card has made the meta fresh, fun, and exciting for me once again because of the mirror way up here at A+ tier. Very, very fun and effective card in Clash Royale right now. Mortar, one of the strongest win conditions in the game. A+ tier for sure. Mother Witch down here at B tier, right next to the Archer and the Firecracker. Musketeer, A tier card. Night Witch has moved up a couple of ranks because Golem is once again in the meta, and because also it synergizes so well with the Skeleton King, a very strong card. Pekka gonna be over here at B tier. Poison up here at A+ tier. Prince is gonna be A tier as well. Princess, B tier, right over here. Rage Spell, lower end of B tier. Ram Rider over here in B tier next to the Battle Ram. It got nerfed pretty hard in the balance update, and it was mostly used in Mega Knight Ram Rider decks previously, and the Mega Knight also got nerfed. Rascals, A tier card next to the Lumberjack. Rocket is going to be a B tier card. Royal Delivery over here, A+ tier. I love the Royal Delivery. Very, very solid on offense. Very, very effective card overall, and very versatile as well. Royal Ghost, way up here at A+ tier. Hey, you're gonna go behind the guards. Yeah, okay. Royal Giant, once again, very, very effective in the meta. A+ tier because it synergizes so well with the Giant Skeleton as well as the Fisherman, both of which are very, very strong cards right now. It is an A+ tier card. Royal Hogs over here at the higher end of A tier. Royal Recruits, I believe, are a middle of the pack A tier card as well. Skeleton Army, upper end of A tier. Skeleton Barrel, gonna be on the middle of the pack A tier. Skeleton Dragons, let's go A tier as well. Skeleton King, this beastie boy is another S tier card. One of the strongest cards and strongest champions in Clash Royale. How did it not get nerfed in the balance update? Nobody knows. But it is one of the highest ranked cards in the game with a 54% win rate and a whopping 18% usage. Remember, the higher the use rate, the more meaningful that win rate is. Overall, it's such a strong card, and I still have no idea how it did not get nerfed in the balance update. Let's move on. We have Skeletons, another S tier card. For 1 elixir, they are extremely versatile, decent damage output, distraction, and a cycle card as well. Barky, A tier, right next to the Goblin Giant. Spear Goblins, way up here at the upper end of A+ tier. Yes, I know their damage is fairly low, but they only cost 2 elixir, they have range attacks, they deal decent chip damage, and they offer distraction as well. Log Spell, way over here at A+ tier next to the Snowball. 3 Musketeers moving all the way up to the upper end of A+ tier, dominating the meta once again. Overall, a very strong card. The Tombstone, way up here at S tier. Actually, no, let's go higher end of A tier. It is by far the best defensive building in Clash Royale, and in my opinion, it should have been nerfed harder. Tornado, this is a fundamentally broken card. Way up here at S tier. Honestly, giving you the ability for 3 elixir to rearrange the entire arena to your liking. Doesn't even matter if your opponent uses cards effectively, just NATO everything together and your splash damage destroys it. I believe the Tornado spell is fundamentally and mechanically broken and deserves a massive rework. Valkyrie, way up here over next to the Knight. Wall Breakers, definitely an A tier card as well. Let's go way up here next to the Royal Hogs. Witch, another C tier card. Same thing with the Wizard. Now, speaking of the Witch and the Wizard, let's go over here to Royale API once again. Where would you expect them to be in terms of card ranking? They are all the way down here. Wizard, 32% win rate, and the Witch, 34% win rate. These two cards are desperately in need of a rework. Expo is a B tier card. The archers got stronger, the iceberg got stronger, but overall, it's just not that effective compared to the rest of the win conditions in Clash Royale. So it's gonna go right here at the lower end of B tier. Boom. Zespel way up here at the lower end of A+ tier. And then our last card of the day is the Zappies. Hello, my dear friend Zappies. Let's go over here and place you where you belong at the higher end of A tier. Split link control, reset ability, and distraction. Zappies are overall a pretty versatile card in Clash Royale. Well, guys and girls, that is my list right here. What do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? If you disagree, what would you change and why? Let me know down below in those comments. I know a couple of these cards are very, very popular on mid-ladder, like Mega Knight, Witch, and Wizard, but I previously mentioned it is more so a problem of players being over-leveled and beating up on players that are lower level than them. So that is more so a level and matchmaking issue, unless these cards are actually strong. But that is the end of the video, guys and girls. Hopefully you enjoyed this list, and hopefully it was worth the wait. And the next time you get a balance update, you can guarantee you'll be doing another tier list after that. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But that is the end of the video, guys and girls. Thank you for watching. We shall see you all in the next one.